Hello everyone and welcome. This is Groodscom back with another episode of Factorio with the BioIndustries mod. I have not been playing this game for quite a while because I've started a new position with school and I've also been sick, so the quality of my recordings would be very poor if I were to do them. So I'm getting a little better. It might still sound a little rough, but it is better than it used to be. So where we left off, we had finished this, I think we finished with the robots and kind of redesigning our power. I think that might have been in the previous episode before that. But just thinking about where we need to go in the future, I think one thing that would be nice to have right now, because we have all the things to make it, would be fertilizer. And I went ahead and I actually created a blueprint for this off camera because it took me a while to figure out how I wanted it to look and where it would fit. So this was actually, I didn't actually mean to have that pipe in the top there, but that's okay. This is going to work. So I do have the robots that makes this printing of blueprints faster. So I do need to do, I should have done this off camera. I do need to actually craft a lot of these chemical plants. But all the inserters and stuff, I should have a lot of that stuff in my inventory. And all this does is it creates the advanced fertilizer, which is available with the BioIndustries mod, which takes wood pulp, fertilizer, and then that algae biomass, which we're producing. In fact, we have everything except for the fertilizer. Now that fertilizer, we have made some in the past just to demonstrate it. It takes ash and sulfur and also nitrogen. I don't think we've used nitrogen. I think we did it as the demonstration up here before, so it's going to look something similar to this, but of course, and I don't think these ratios are actually correct. I think one of these liquid air production chemical plants will only produce enough for 5, so if that becomes an issue, we can always just stamp more down, right? So let's get the materials we need to start crafting those chemical plants, and then we're going to figure out how we're going to get all the materials in there. And see, I think the reason why it's important to have fertilizer, of course we can use an advanced recipe in the biofarm, and that's available, let's see here. So it uses advanced fertilizer. It is faster, much faster than the recipe that requires ash. I mean, we're skipping the fertilizer and going straight to advanced fertilizer. This recipe is super fast and efficient. It produces more than twice the amount of products, which actually that will create a problem because this belt, and I did try to see how to arrange this to organize everything coming off of it, and it's really a pain. This 2 belts, it might work for this setup right now, and even with the red belts, it's still kind of backing up a little bit. You saw that inserter just started being able to place that stuff down, and it looks like this output is actually backed up, so it's not currently producing. It's just waiting to fill the belt, and that could also be because we're not using as much here. So it looks like the wood is kind of going down, but the wood pulp is still like fully saturated. It might even be backing up here because of this production of ash. It's just that's all getting backed up. So we will start to consume some of that ash, and we'll need to bring in this sulfur, and I think I'll just, even though this ratio was for the sulfuric acid, I think we can pull off any excess sulfur here. If we need to produce more, all it takes is petroleum and water, so that's not really an issue. We'll have plenty of petroleum. We have obviously infinite water if we need it, and then we'll just belt the, so it'll be a mixed belt of sulfur and ash to create the fertilizer, and then I'll have to also bring down a wood pulp belt, and I think this should be like an extra priority. So like after it produces this ash, because we are using it for this recipe, I'll just pull a belt down here, and then that belt will mix with these, that'll just be by itself, and it'll come down here onto this belt here for the advanced fertilizer. And then I just have this going into a logistics chest, which this is a provider chest. I might actually make it a storage chest. it's not really, I don't really have a logistics network right now. I'm just thinking in the future that might be a place where I can have the bots deliver fertilizer to me. And the reason fertilizer is useful, not just for those recipes, but also, and I talked about it a little bit, this park. So the bio garden can actually create purified air, which takes pollution units away. Now on our map right now, we are not producing a lot of pollution. That's because our production isn't very high. But when we're mining this copper ore completely and this iron ore, you're gonna see the red just take over. In fact, the power is low right now. The production of the production of that pellet coke and coal is actually very, very polluting. Even like these trees, they're gonna die. It's not gonna be able to help that much. So if I had a few of these parks scattered throughout here, what I could do, it would be nice if I could belt everything where it needs to go, but it is very hard to figure out, like, you know, oh, I gotta drag this belt all the way around and up here somewhere, and then I gotta get belts to, I think it's better to have them where the pollution is being produced. So I would put those parks, like a couple of them in the back here or down on the bottom, and it's just gonna be really hard to get all those belts where they need to go. So since the recipe takes so long, whoops, let's get back to that. This recipe takes 100 seconds and it uses only one advanced fertilizer. Obviously we're not worried about the water because we have water fill turned on, or mod. But because they take such a long time, what I can do is I can show you how to set up a circuit to, whoops, I need to get back to my car. I can set up a circuit to notify me when I need to refill the fertilizer. So what I can do is I can set up a chest with the inserter going into the bio garden, and then when it gets low enough, like I can set it to 10, when it gets to 10 advanced fertilizers, I'll just see an alert down here, like you see this alert for construction. There will be a custom alert that I can make that'll let me know to travel there and refill it. And I did some testing with this, and it seems like it helps a little bit. I might actually need to scale up the operation even more than I had thought originally. So we'll get it started and just see how far we get with it. And this is just I mean, we're going to use that advanced fertilizer, like I said, in the recipe for wood pulp anyway. So why not just do that? And of course, we have to handcraft a whole bunch of stuff. It'd be easier, obviously, to just stand right. Can I stand here and grab everything I need? Because that would be cool. And then I'll just make everything I need. Thank you. Oh, that's very nice. Yeah, each one of these takes 5 gear wheels, and I think I put 7 down. That's 21, 22 maybe total chemical plants that I need. So that's going to be a while. In fact, let me come down here. And you can see my robots are just dropping down some of that stone for the path. That's because they were blueprinted down really early before I was producing stone, and I'm not sure if I did that off camera in the last episode or the episode before, but I did start creating stone bricks, and I'm just mining this tiny little spot right here. What I'm thinking in the future is that these stone patches are too far to belt, really. And now I don't need much stone until I start producing, I think it's purple science. I need them for the furnaces, but at some point I'm going to have to make rail to these locations and then in this little smelting area. But for copper, at the current moment is fine, but then the iron ore patches, I want to get these two as well from the starter area, and I'm not sure what to do about this copper. I'm not too worried about that, but I do want to clean out this area. I'm going to leave the coal. I don't really care about coal since I can make my own, but definitely get the stone out of here and then basically change it over to iron ore and then move that iron ore supply line that was for stone up to feed into the main smelters here. In fact, let's change some of these icons because I do have steel now, and then this little section over here is for stone bricks, these guys. And that's just kind of a nice way to show that on the map. You can make those little icons if you right click, and this is just the biofarm, so this is where I'm making my coal products. In fact, I could put like a pellet coke. I don't know where that's at. There it is. And then I don't know what I would do for power, maybe like a boiler, a bio boiler, just to show me where my power's at, even though I have another location up here, which I'm thinking that's going to move, because right now you can see the pollution is kind of concentrated in this area. These are only like a few miners running at the moment, and these boilers don't, I mean, the boilers don't produce a ton of pollution. In fact, these are more efficient, obviously, so they produce even less. But still, 27 pollution units, you know, each one of those bio gardens only takes up, was it 35? So yeah, it's not, it's, you know, it's a tough battle. 35 units. So one of them will take care of a bio boiler and, like, you know, 30% of another one or so. So that's where we're at. I think let's go ahead and get started with producing those chemical plants and get all those belts laid down. Let me just grab some more of that stuff. You know, I'm not using pipes for anything except for making the chemical plants and any recipes that require them. Oh, it looks like I need steel. Oops, I narrowly missed that pipe. Like I said, I did test some of this stuff off camera to see how the pollution was being absorbed, and it was okay. It wasn't great. Some of the biters, since I think biter expansion has got to be on for sure, because I was getting attacked by biters that I had already cleared. You know, I had cleared a wide area, and you can see these guys right here. They were not there when I went on a rampage with the tank. In fact, I don't think, you know, this outline basically was kind of, this explored area was the border of where all the nests were, the spawners were, and now we've got new ones in our area. So yeah, we definitely have expansion on. Oh, it looks like we need a lot more of these. Let's see. Oh, this also tells me I need 7 more, so I made 5, 6, 7. Looks like I need some long-handed inserters as well, which I have those gear wheels, so that's cool. I don't have to handcraft the intermediate ingredients for that. Yeah, and now I can see, it looks like the liquid air, yeah, this can't keep up. I should have had 2 of these, so I might even make another one of those just to satisfy. It's still going to be extra though, but it's fine. I'll go ahead and you know, it's just liquid air, so whatever doesn't get made, it just won't be utilized. That's all. I thought I made one more. Guess not. There we go. So now it looks like all I need is that provider chest, and you know what? For now, I'm just going to make this a wood chest. Not that one, but just a small one. There we go. We don't have power because of. Let's just put it here. There we go. Everybody's happy. Let's just put this kind of in the middle. And yeah, liquid air is almost free to make. It does not take any ingredients. It basically just liquefies the air around it, I guess. It must have some air intake. And then, you know, of course it uses power, so it's not technically free. But now we need to get those ingredients in here, so let's make a mixed belt for our, let's see, it'd be sulfur and ash. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter this output to split it off and only take the sulfur out of here. And then we'll take that iron off of that. Mix this belt. And then the sulfur, the ash, I'm just going to take this belt right here. So I'm pretty sure when I get to more advanced belts, of course that doesn't work. So let's go here. When I get faster belts, you know, it's not even going to be an issue. So now we have a mixed belt of ash and sulfur, and you'll see these guys, that's all they need. Once this comes down, it'll start inserting. And then I do need to hook up the this is the algae biomass, which is required for advanced fertilizer. And then now I need to figure out how I'm going to get pulp down here. And like I said, I was a big fan of just taking this line that's already made to supply these cokeries for the ash. Let's see. We need to make sure that we're getting some. So if wood backs up, that's going to cause a problem, because then the pulp won't be allowed to go through. Okay, this is a bell here. Okay. So let's just come down. I'm going to bring it down right here. I don't really like where this is at, but it's not on the path, so we got that going for it. And now where does this need to be? I could put it on the other side, but I think it'd be better if it was, it's kind of not good practice to have everything just sandwiched in here so close. But it does fit, right? Let's see what we can do about this problem that we have. So why is wood backing up? That is probably because we're not using pellet coke. Yeah, so it's basically what it comes down to is if we're not using something, then it's going to back up, and then the thing that we need is not going to go through. So it's kind of unfortunate. You know, we have all this excess production, and then we're not even able to get everything. So we just got one wood pulp out of here. It's not great. Let's just see if it helps. Try to mix this up. We might even... Oops. Okay, we're getting quite a bit. For whatever reason, we must have just had a quick pulse of pulp, and then everything just stopped. It must be... Okay, so when I let the wood go through, it went for a little bit, and then, oh, look at that. I actually took out a splitter by accident. Did not mean to do that. Let's put that splitter down here. And of course we need to prioritize that, or else it's possible, but not likely, that we wouldn't be able to make our first ingredient, wood, which we would need to keep everything going. And just to get things rolling, I know where I have a ton of wood pulp. I had to do this at some point when I moved those buffer chests. So I'm just going to remove that, and then I'm going to hand feed this in. And we do have a little bit on the line, but not quite enough what I would like to have. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and just drag all of this, even distribution, boom. And are they producing? No, because these are not hooked up. There we go. And you can see this is, I kind of like this setup. This is really cool. These ratios are all correct. I think this takes 20 fertilizer every 50 seconds. This one produces 1 per second. Okay, so actually I don't need as many of these advanced fertilizers, because it's more like one of these regular fertilizers would produce enough to supply 2.5 of these. So that's kind of a bummer. I mean, it looks good, but the ratios aren't accurate. So yeah, that's unfortunate, because that means I would rather have, it would actually be better to have a belt of regular fertilizer coming down, and then a line of these advanced fertilizers, and then they'll just take off what they need. Or yeah, that's how it'd have to work. So basically, to make this many advanced fertilizers, I definitely don't need this many regular fertilizers, which means I don't need as many of the nitrogens, and I don't need this extra liquid air, unfortunately. So I should have done those ratios before, but it is what it is. Now I'm producing plenty of advanced fertilizer. I've almost got a whole stack here. It stacks up to 200. So let me get this full stack. Come on, there you go. Okay, so I have a whole stack of fertilizer, and it does just like the regular fertilizer does. It actually plants like grass, and it's more fertile for trees to grow on. So let's make a speaker. I got my wood chest. I got water fill. I need to make a pump. And of course I need to make one of those bio gardens, which means I need crushed stone and I need stone bricks. Well, fortunately I'm right by the stone bricks. Let me grab some of those. Not too many. And it is kind of annoying sometimes because I want those stone bricks for the bio garden that I'm trying to make. But if I happen to drive by a blueprint, the robots are going to take those and automatically put them down. So it's possible that they could take all of my stone bricks if I go over an area that has a lot of them or has a lot of need for stone bricks in a blueprint. So they can be kind of annoying. Whoops, that's not that. Not the concrete. I wanted crushed stone. Let's make one bio garden. I'm just going to put those crushed stone back. I was thinking about the concrete for some reason. I don't need that except for bio boilers at this point. I'm thinking that, so even though I know from experience that when I turn this on, this is way more polluting than the copper ore, I can already see that we are infringing on these spawners right here. So I want to hit that area first and just take care of a little bit of that pollution. I haven't done any research in this episode, so everything should be stockpiling. None of those science production areas should be even running. That should all be backed up. Oh, it's really dark over here, isn't it? I'm going to put this thing like right on the edge. So the first thing I can do is just put this guy down and then change the recipe to the advanced fertilizer. Now I'm going to need to have a pump somewhere, so let's go ahead and use some water fill and do like here. And this is, you know, it's kind of cheesy to have the water fill. You know, the alternative is piping water all the way over here, and that's just really annoying and difficult. I mean, it's not really difficult, it's just tedious, I would say. So let's see, I need a speaker, because a speaker can give you an audible alarm, or it can give you a visual alarm. I'm not going to use the audible alarm because it can be kind of annoying, especially if you've got multiple ones going off and then you're getting attacked at the same time. It's really annoying. So let's turn off the volume, but let's do show alert, and then anytime that, where is my, here it is, my advanced fertilizer gets less than 10, have an alarm. That's actually not going to be audible, but then the icon I want it to show is, and it's already going off, I'm just going to say refill needed, just like that. So I haven't put any in there. It's saying give me refill. Oh, I have some in my inventory, so put it down, and this guy's going. So, and I'm not sure how much this pollution, how much pollution this absorbs, like per second or anything like that. You can see this, it's a 100-second recipe that just kind of travels along here, and it only uses one at a time, so one every 100 seconds. It's not even one per minute, and it will help reduce this pollution a little bit. It's hard to tell. at this point, but we'll see. And I'm thinking I'm going to take out those spawners really quick, because they'll probably be attracted, and I don't have any defenses here. Don't really feel like handcrafting those right now. And I know where my tank is, so let's get to that. My gosh, and I just noticed this has been a problem in the last episode, and maybe no one's noticed it, but I certainly noticed it when I watched the video again, was that my cursor is not where it needs to be. Yeah, so like right now I'm on the tank, and in my stream I can see that it's not where it should be. So let's see if I can fix that really quick. Alright, well I apologize I wasn't able to fix it, but let's do what we were going to do and just take care of that biter spawner. I'll look into the issue a little bit more. Some people recommended that it's a known bug within the recording software. Well, unfortunately, all the fixes that I was able to look up really quickly did not work. So let's make our way over to this biter spawner and take care of that. I think what we should try to get done before the next episode is make some more of those bio gardens. We should have more than enough production of fertilizer, advanced fertilizer. Whoa, 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 whoa. Should have turned off my robots. That's one bad thing, is they'll jump out and try to fix you, and I might have lost one in that whole process. Yep, I sure did. I only have 19 now. So kind of an expensive mistake. That was my fault. But we took care of those. I think there's another one down here, which these guys should be okay, but I just want to get rid of them anyway. Make our way down here. Oh, and let's make sure that those guys don't jump out again and try to fix the damage, because they can fix it later. I'm in the tank. I'm not going to get hurt. Make sure to target those worms, the big worms if you can. Yeah, so I'm taking damage, but tank's got quite a bit of health. Anything else we need to do? We might take care of these spawners up here. Let's make our way over there. Just plow through these trees. I'm not really worried about repairing, actually. Let's go ahead and let that go. And, oh, wait, who's that guy? What? Oh, that's because I took out... Okay, so I didn't actually lose one. That's good. But because I'm not wearing the armor, that construction robot didn't know where to go, so he just basically froze where he was at. Feel kind of bad for that, but you know, it's a robot, doesn't really have feelings, so it's okay. And I think what I'll actually do is I'll place down those biogardens off camera. I'll set up all those, because I'm going to have to set up the speakers and everything, and I want to make at least like 10 of those, and it's also going to take some time for the advanced fertilizer to stockpile. Oh, I'm out of fuel, and I actually have coal in this thing, so I mean, it'd be better if I use the pellet coke, because I get that little acceleration boost. So let's pick up some of that. And I think pellet coke stacks up to 200, so... Oh. Sorry, 400. There we go. Let's just use that a little bit first. Oops. That didn't work. least we'll be attacking these guys in the daytime too, so it'll be easier to see. Go here first. These guys are definitely getting stronger because you see the spitters and the blue worms. These guys are getting stronger. The little worms, not so bad. But yeah, the blue worms have a lot of health. There we go. Got rid of all the spitters. Yeah, just rid of these little guys. And I think I will repair. So get out and put my armor on. Robots go out. I really wish I could access my armor when I'm in the tank, because now I can't take it off unless I get out. Alright, there he goes. Back inside. Not wearing the armor, so they shouldn't come out. Wow, this is a lot of worms and only one spawner. That's a really interesting fighter race. Cool thing is the little ones I can just run right over. Okay. Big ones, not so much. There we go. I guess it's one way to save ammunition. And the big worms, they have a very long shooting range, so it's definitely pertinent to hit them first. Little worms too, not quite as far as the, whoops, I want to run into that. These little guys, they will also shoot the whole time. Okay, so that takes care of that. Like I said, I'll definitely work on getting those bio gardens, and you can see, you know, either our mining production slowed down. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say the pollution is reduced quite a bit, but it's definitely working, and I'll get a couple of those parks, bio gardens down here, and at least a few up here around the iron, and I think that'll cover it until the next episode. And then we'll have to look at, I think we should probably make our way toward the purple and yellow science. Definitely yellow science, because I would like to get the power armor so that we can actually make the fusion reactor. That one's going to take yellow science. And the personal roboport 2, which can hold more robots. I think this one holds twice as many, maybe, or 25. I don't actually remember off the top of my head. And then we can look at automation 3, faster assemblers. Everything just kind of grows and grows. So we'll definitely look at that, and maybe getting purple science as well. And then we'll talk about the rocket ship, which that's going to be, it's going to take a little bit of tech to get there. But that is the end goal of the game. And there's certainly more things I could do with that BioIndustries mod. I could start making that prototype artillery that we researched a while ago. So just things to consider in the future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.